We're back. I bought the dollar yen. If I was selling gold, if I was a gold trader, I'd be selling gold. So I'm buying the dollar, selling the euro, selling the pound if it goes higher here. So I got sell limits stacked up, wrapped around that round handle. So I'm giving the pound plenty of room. So yes, when the market's going up really hard, somebody asked, "Are you selling heavy into these big moves?" I'm selling wide. If it's going up that fast, that hard, now those are 4 hour tickets up on the British pound on the left. So that's going to come up, and the idea is it's going to smack into that within 4 hours. And it's right now, it's this time, it's about 4:36. The U.S. markets are going to open. They're coming out with the jobs report stuff. So maybe the dollar rallies, the pound goes up, euro's pulling back right now. Of course, this is the 1 hour chart, and I'm on the 1 hour chart here because I'm scalping this, and I'm on the 1 hour chart here. And this one, I've got the buy limits on the euro because I think the euro is going to crash into my stack of buy limits. So I'm waiting for all three things to happen here. So the other account, I'm still trading the other account. It's the demo account. Well, I had to start a new demo account because the one I was trading, I started off with the Ryan bot, and I went from the Ryan bot to the let's see, I took it up to trading on the. Let's see, I took over the account, started trading it with my scripts, and then I came in and traded it manually with no stops and no take profits, naked 21Ks. So a move like this on this euro pulling back, if it was down 4 hours right here, I buy a little bit. If it smashes down another 40 pips in 4 hours, no brainer. Pull the trigger, boom, 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 21K. And, some of it, I'd buy right here, go back to sleep, wake up, it's 40 pips down, buy more. And so you can't see it maybe on the account, but sometimes the account was drawn down $21,000. So I took the account all the way to 188,000 from 5,000. So it was 5,000 down to 3,000. Then I sell into this pound and the euro, and I went long the dollar as it's crashing without any stops, 60Ks now. So I just blew up the account. And that's obviously going to happen unless you're going to put a stop in, which I have stops here on this account. And I have stops in a new demo account, starting off with 5 grand, putting in the scripts, set it and forget it. Pure limits, really not too much market. I did some market order tradings though. I had the market tickets ready, so when the dollar yen was down here, when we were down in this, oh gosh, it was right here. I buy at the market, boom, boom, boom here, and then here bought the market here, boom. So when the market's down, I hope it's obvious that the market's really down, like really down 4 hours. Like, just think about 4 hours in a row, 8 hours in a row, 12 hours in a row. It's down. Are you buying heavy? Yeah, I guess you're buying any buying you buy that you feel heavy about it, like it's too much money. Okay, it's too much money. So you don't have to trade big, but if you have enough dry powder as you sell a 1K every 10 pips, a 2K, so you're not in that big a position. Some people are like, oh, that's not big enough position for me. I want to trade bigger than that. So if you go trade bigger, now you really should trade unit size biggers, right? You don't build a store that's really big, big, big and hope everybody shows up. You build a bunch of little satellite stores. And sure, you can have stores that lose money. They're getting rioted by some, you know, animals, are rioting. And you didn't choose that, groundhogs chewing on your lawn. You didn't choose that. That stuff just shows up. And this market here is just wackadoodle. How do you like this in golf here now? If you go to the history of the narrative of what's happened in some of these markets, this is the most amazing. We've seen this before. This amazing wackadoodle in golf as you go down and take out the low of the week. It's just amazing. I can see why nobody's going to be able to run a moving average on this stuff. It is so cute that people try. Oh, I built this algorithm. I built this cloud system. Did you? Have you ever seen the market move? You ever seen price action? Just take this, for instance. This is the 4-hour line chart on top of just bars. Please tell me you've got an algo for this. You have to have curve fitted some beautiful thing for this. Why not? It's obvious, right? It blows my mind that people have this view. Oh, by the way, this is the demo. So here is, I got the tickets set here. I'm going to move my targets on this one. So I'm managing quite a big position here. At least 200K. So I'm going to move these tickets up. These are all 1Ks, so it's a lot of work, but it's less risk. And I think that is the quintessential dilemma, is that people want to say, well, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to really get good at trading, and I'm just going to put on a few really good trades, and I'm going to put a lot of fucking size on that one trade, and my stop is where nobody's going to touch it. Well, if it's where nobody's going to touch it, it's probably so deep, it's going to cost you so much money. By the time they hit it, your account may blow up. So why don't you just trade without a stop? I don't know if anybody ever thought of these things. So, and you're trading with leverage, because I don't know about you, but I don't have $40 million. But I could trade $40 million in the markets, I think. Yeah, so we're looking for the dollar. This is the dollar yen, to go up and start smacking into my take profits. And I'm going to move mostly, this is the drudgery. This is what people just don't want to talk about when it comes to trading. This, hold down the Alt key. I have mine set to hold down the Alt key to move tickets. I can do this really quick, but my mouse blew up, so I'm down to a real mouse. My trackball died. So I can do this pretty quick, though. So if the market's coming at me, now if this was the 5-minute chart and they're coming after me, and these are like 2-pip grid instead of a 10-pip grid, I'd be like... And then the problem is, since I fixed the scale, I have to be careful. So if I fix the scale, I can do it really fast, because then it won't tug around on me. It won't drift on me. So here, if I hold down the Alt key, I mean, you can just be like, see, that then it's locked. So I can start moving all these tickets up. Like they're just, that's efficient, right? I mean, this is a lot of tickets. There. Then I just walk. Now I got this nice smooth exit, I got some hard entries. So here's where I bought at the market. So I have this script. That's my stops, by the way. So here I could scooch all these up too. Here's another money management trick that's very laborious. If you zoom in here, go to the 1-hour chart, which is like zooming in. Oh, I got in here. I'm going to move you've seen people do this one. I'm going to move my stops to break even. Look, I can't lose in this trade. That's right, you can't lose. You only make 10 fucking pips if this thing pulls back, right? But don't do it to every ticket. Right? That's just so. This is work. It's so cute. People are like, "Oh, I'm a trade." That's what I thought. Oh, I'm trading. I'm so fucking good at this, dude. I've got like Garleys and shit. You don't understand. I just need to make one decision. You've heard this shit. Well, this guy, why does he charge so much money? Well, he comes in. All I did was tap the fucking thing. He knew where to tap it. Oh yeah, well. So, um, I, that's ridiculous. Do you know how much shit he tapped on? He didn't know what the fuck was going on. Yeah, because you're paying for hours, right? The idea is you're paying for hours of that, but and then you're not trading against the best traders in the world. You're just trading against your own laziness here. So if I don't move these things, if I don't put a stop, yeah, $188,000 on this demo. And if I had actually taken 5 grand to that amount, I think I would have got out at 50 grand and just been like, that's good. Let's just go back to 5 grand. Let's just start with 5 grand again and only lose 5 grand. Like, who exposes your whole account to that, right? You'd be nuts. Or you could open an account that's $100,000 demo account and just trade like that and just make gobs of money just for show. But it is an example of if you can make that money, you're intending to make it, and you're intending to risk it if you go naked. So you are risking every time you make that. But every trade, I mean, literally every trade that I babysat. Now, if I'm not going to babysit it and I go short and I look at the account and it's like, was it 188,000? Now it's at 20,000. I'm just not going to trade it. I mean, that's, now if that's real money, I don't know who's putting 188 grand in an account and trading without stops. Okay, I don't know who's doing that. People say, well, trading a demo isn't like real money. Well, fucking it is. It's your score. It's how you would trade it, like, right? What kind of trades would you take this morning? The dumbest. These markets are so stupid. It's so easy that you would just sell the high of the day. Gosh, I can't believe that trade would even work out. Like, just sell around the high of the day, just somewhere around there, or just beyond it. But when the market starts screaming up, I hope people aren't standing in front of these price vacuums that go back 2 and 3 years and expecting the market to. It will pop up in there and you'll get your scalp off, maybe your 10 or 40 pips. But then look the fuck out because it's going up or it's going down. It's going into these vacuums. I just don't know why Pike. I see Pike did do a retrofit. The 4K vertical face burn. He's got all this stuff set to like white charts. I mean, that's a little white. I would say as far as this 23% black monitors, he needs black screens. But, trading's work, man. These fuckers with the... Oh, I came across this cute girl that's in Britain, and she's trading like a 2 and a 1K. And she takes her dog for a walk. You gotta check her out. She takes her dog for a walk. And she goes, this is part of trading. Yeah, it is. I mean, to me, sleeping's part of trading. I'm waking up to see, did they stop me out or limit me in? Because I'm not going to sit there and babysit this dumb shit price action. I put my tickets down there. So now if I'm going to spread them in there or focus. Now this is a focused entry. You can see I just kept nailing it. Boom, 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 boom. And I actually got in down here and survived this so-called stop hunt here. So here's what I got in. You can't see it here because I deleted the trigger pulls on this. Literally got in here and probably got in some of here, maybe stopped out of something. I know something scalped out, and I did have some of these set to just taking 10 pips, and it was a lot of tickets. So in this rack here, I've got this, here's some buy limits, buy at the market, here's BM, buy at the market, and these are just various, like, I could just do it right now. So I could just start buying some more. Now, I think the trick is I've got an 18 pip stop, a 14, a 12. This broker sucks. He won't even fill these tickets. Uh, 18 pip stop to make 28. The diversification. So we can take 20% off, 30% off, 40% off. Just get out of the whole position, go flat, put limits above, start to get into sells. Because to me, I'm never going to be able to get the Gartleys aligned and all the harmonics and all of the fibs and have everything sitting there and like, this is where I'm getting in. Now, it is true that this morning, in a really dumb kind of classic entry, which is what you're seeing, most of the days are these just cliche trades. Here's the British pound. And I put this trade on today. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, and this belief system is pretty tough to take. How stupid it really is. Let me just mark them off here on the chart. I'm getting used to this mouse here. All right, let me delete these objects. So this was the trade. It was hard to believe how simple this trade was, but it's one and done. I wouldn't sit around for these things. I wouldn't expect this market to do a complete reversal. Any trade anybody talks about, it's kind of funny because they're like, well, this is the candlestick pattern. Here's where you get in. Okay, that's one trade, dude. That's one trade. You need like 5 trades around that at least. You got to scalp out. You got to have the mid-term. You got to have the long-term. You got to have the I'm getting the fuck out. You got the other trade. What, you can do another trade today? How many currencies are you going to look at? And I just can't imagine a robot's going to capture. Although I still haven't given up on the robot idea. If I could just write the code, and it's like I said, it's the simplest robot in the world. If it's up 50 pips, sell with a 50 pip stop. If it's up 60 pips, sell with a 60 pip stop. Okay, that's the robot. I mean, I can't really make it more simple. I'm actually going to put that on this site here where somebody builds a robot. Okay, this is what I got. It's down 60 pips, buy with a 60 pip stop. Gotcha. Okay, can you code that? Is somebody fucking code that? Let's all share that like a good riot. Oh my God. What the fuck? It's so stupid. But if you're going to sleep, if you're going to have other things you got to do, of course, it's not available. You got to get up at 3 o'clock. Most Americans aren't going to, at 2 o'clock in the morning, you can sit there and look at the market and say, okay, well, if I don't want to put limits in, I'm going to have to sit here and pull the trigger on these trades or put a couple limits in and pull the trigger on some other trades. But I just don't know how people are doing this one. I got a signal. I went and bought the British pound. You did? Okay. And your stop is where? You have one stop? Well, I'm risking 2% of my account. Okay. Like the girl walking her dog. So cute. And then she goes, then she comes back and analyzes the trade. It's just so adorable. She right textbook how you're supposed to behave. I'm just like, I'm never gonna be able to be that person that's gonna, because it's almost like I'm writing a book. I don't know if you're writing a journal. People say, would you journal? I guess. Just writing down scripts, I guess that's my journal. Just history of bad trades. I mean, just whatever history of bad thoughts. I mean, do you want to be reminded of all your bad thoughts? And today I went and to the store and had to wear a mask. I guess years from now you'll look back. Oh yeah, we're wearing fucking gills now. Mask. Where's the new updated digital mask? The one that just like a bug zapper. Just fucking hear it taking out some corona. They'll be selling that on the infomercials, I'm sure, in about a year. You have to come up with some kind of. That's where that hand sanitizer shit came from. That's where everybody got sick in the first place because they stopped eating dirt. Okay, we're waiting again for the top of the hour here as the pound backs off the tops. And isn't it funny that now in the pound you do have to risk more, but if you just put a sell limit here with a 20 pip stop, and you made your 20 pips already once, it's so silly. And now you look at the 15, and that trade, you could do that trade twice already. It's mind-boggling. So now I'm short this. I'm underwater actually on this. They didn't hit my stop. I put more sell limits up there actually. So I haven't gotten filled on this. So because I'm not going to trade one ticket, I got this luxury of, if I'm short this thing, and I'm underwater now because this is where I got in, when it gets back under the side of that, I could actually buy that just for a scalp if my targets are set to scalp targets. There's no point of putting in these fantasy trades. Now here is, I'm going to try to make 12 pips. So if we get below where I'm in money, I'm going to buy here logically for the scalp. My target is back into here because it doesn't make sense to put in a 40 pip stop to make 180 pips if there's no way that the market has that kind of structure available to it. And really, how long do you want to wait to get paid? The closer you get to the spread here when it comes to these targets, so the spread here is like 1.5 plus commissions is a half a pip, so it costs you 2 pips here on the pound, 3 pips at a fixed broker. You know, I'm trying to make 12 pips on this thing, so I got like $7 here. I don't know if this is real math here. 15 to make 7. So 10 of these would be $70 at the exact same price, but if I layer them up here and interweave them, and then I can put them end to end also. And the next critical thing, this is only 4 hours though. So this is really very low risk, high probability. Like if it comes down there, 4 hours. This is a 30-minute chart. It comes down there in 4 hours, bam, bam, cash out. That same trade would have been just an amazing trade. Now this is the classic, I guess you could call this where people are gonna go grab your stop. Like you bought on a breakout here, and you put your buy stop here, and they filled you, and you put your protection here, and they took this out, and then they went up, and you like, Jesus, I could have made money on that. But that's imagine you just had one ticket. Of course, that would be the. I can't draw with this mouse. Oh, that's really gonna struggle here. My trackball died, so if you bracket it like this in this goober-esque kind of retail, whatever you call it, entries, confirmation entries. We don't like to just jump in the market. It's kind of risky. Looks like we're going up here, so I'm going to sell into this more. And the pound is going up, even though the dollar is going up against the yen. So there's no correlation there. So I'm long the dollar against the yen. Pound here still on a rant. I think we were going higher. And I'm short. And I guess I'll let them stop me out. And that's the other thing. Being lazy about this. Am I going to get out of these tickets? Probably not. Let them stop me out because I just see the next trade coming. What's the next trade? Put sell limits up here. It's Albert Brooks says the next trade, I think. Well, we can't do much about the one we're in unless we decide that we're going to cut our losses short, which I never do that. Just let them stop me out. Start selling above here now. For the scalp first. So up into everything up here. You see, this broker sucks. You want to stop that? Dude, why aren't you putting that ticket in? This Hugo's Way is a piece of shit. I don't know if that Falcon, this same fucking, I think it's a white label. Falcon's white label, this. Look at that. Look at the fucking, really? Nobody's trading the pound at fucking 5 in the morning? Can't believe this fucking broker. So, I mean, I know it's a demo, but please make me believe it would be faster execution. I mean, it's real. I guess we're putting too many tickets in. I guess I'm impatient. That's what it is. All right, yeah. So, here, watch this. I bet it just goes in fast. This one. No. So you have to wait for a tick to come in. There. Why such a lag? Wow, squirrely now. Here comes drama. I also want to do the same. Now this is going to make 15 bucks. Risking 15 to make 15. So it's a 22 pip stop. To make 22 pips. In a 10 pip window. So essentially you have on this a 10 pip stop. I know it's 12, but you know, you're 22 pips below the top at 10. But if you put the spread in there, I'm just going to say it's 10 pip stop. All right. Now we wait for more stuff. But yeah, it's, I would say the more you're going to work at this, the more you would make. I just don't think you can just whip this stuff up. I mean, I got to move my targets on this. So these giant positions like this, I mean, multiple tickets. All right, that looks okay. I could get too greedy here. I do want to move this stack to the top, though, to maximize the cash out. And as it goes up there, this lattice, you know, you can, so when it pops up here, I can put limits in below. I can add to the winner by, if it does cash out of something here, then I got free up some margin. I can start putting limits beneath it. So trailing with limits. To keep the size, if you want to keep a certain size, because you probably won't make too much money unless you trade at least 50 to 50 million positions. Like if you trade 50K or 500K. If you're trading all these tickets, maybe there are 3Ks. So instead of trading 100K, you're trading 300K on 100 tickets, are all 3Ks. And you're moving those tickets around. And it's just a lot of work, that's all. I mean, if you don't mind all that. Because look at how many pips this is. This is a lot of pips. And the markets are really, look at this. This is 40 pips down, 20 pips up, 20 drift down. So I bought into this thing, kind of drift down in Asia, and I just thought, wow, you know, this, we scalped to the floor here. That was the first trade, obvious trade. You know, I'm buying below this. It gets to here, I get out. Then I put more limits in. This is a nice trap here if you would have sold in a 10 pip window up here. That's a killer trade. Look at this. What's your risk to reward ratio? You sell this, stop hunt, bam, down, you know. But you got to get out because when it comes back to here, I mean, what's the point of making 10 pips when you were up 50? So scaling out of it. that's going to be the best, right? I buy more of this, right? Even right now, they're going to pull it back. I want to buy more. I'm not in big enough. This is actually trading faster for some reason. Now I want to put in bigger target. Here I'm going to try to make 32 pips with a 22 pip stop. So I'm commingling all these different things. There's no, I could never imagine doing it in one ratio, in one spectrum, because the market has so much, look, it still hasn't filled this ticket. I just dropped, it's still waiting to come in. It's going to ask me if I want to stop the other ticket. Oh, I guess not. There. So I can just start stacking this in. It's very aggressive. Easily put in, here they come. So easily put in just tons of tickets in that. Walk away. Market comes down. Presupposing you set the targets to realistic targets based on the time frame you're on. This is the 1 hour chart. A lot of trading. 4 hour chart, maybe. Well, one trade a day. Where you're getting filled on a wick. So this is a nice. I'm sure this was a beautiful wick over here on the chart. This is probably amazing. This is one of those classic where it just takes out this floor and just then it engulfs, just rips. Now I'm looking for it to come back. Get on the limits here and go this way. All right, so I'm gonna go back and take a nap. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to really go over the comments people made. Somebody was talking about the that they signed up for they went to no nonsense thing, and I just wanted to say that, you know, I just think it's silly when a person that he's either dumb. So either this is the thing that's disturbing about no nonsense. Either he's stupid or he's being just he's lying. When he says things like, or no, he's a young conspiratorialist talking about how, because he talked to ICT, and this idea that just is so cringy that that somehow there's somebody else that's trading better than you because of where they're at. If you think that any institution, any bank, any fucking whatever the fuck, commercials, have any edge, have any ability to make better decisions than you, is completely ridiculous. Look at the mask bullshit. I'll ask you, all the fucking so-called fucking experts, doctors, these dumb fucks that went to dumb fuck school. Really? Well, like my buddy that was at the fucking he worked for an auto company, and I said, what do you think that ISO 9000? He goes, dude, you can't believe it. He says, we're sitting there doing this scientific measurement, and there's a piece of masking tape on the platform, this aluminum platform that's flat as hell. And he says to me, that he said to the guy that was doing the thing he was learning under, hey, what about the tape? The guy just kind of like shrugs his shoulder like, whatever. Whatever? How many microns do you think that this thing is fucking throwing off the whole thing? Oh, I went to school. I have a degree. Oh, you mean the one you bought? Like, we go to karate school, you buy these degrees. You're kind of buying a belt, right? So you're there long enough. Okay. I get it, you get different colored belts. But you just have no common sense. Do you just have no common sense anymore, people? Come on. And this, I just never thought I'd live in a fucking world like this where people are literally taking the reins of the police powers and using them for harebrained fucking notions. Because at one point in your life, some fucker got sick in China. Your whole fucking world is upside down. And you're about ready to kill yourself because you, even if you're not financially affected by it, you have to ask yourself, is this what no nonsense world looks like? You know, really, to me, it's no nonsense. Governors, these blue state governors, like the guy that's over in, yeah, come on, let's have a riot. It's just a fucking it's just a little bit of a get together. I'm like, what? Yeah, so can't you see? Um, it's all good. Maybe that's too extreme, but I don't think so because I just don't know why somebody would say things like, well, this is like the worst. Like, just look at an indicator and a guy that supposedly likes indicators, no nonsense guy, indicator slut. You're going to sit there and tell me this slut's better than that slut? Are you kidding me? Well, this indicator's like the best indicator. Dude, they're all fucking, this is all bullshit. Just because you don't like the way the prices look, you bet I don't. Yeah, can we just get some, tear down these statues, goddammit. What? Are you just having a tantrum? Where in the fuck? And people are destroying real money. And people are dying from stupidity. It's just so pathetic. People are being told, what? You know what? I said it before. You got a license to practice. You're not free. You can't just do stuff. You had to get a license to do that. You have to get a license to wash fucking hair in California, USA. Oh yeah. Because you might get soap in somebody's eyes. You know what that's like. I think it's so cute because I used to cast quite a bit of metal, and the fire marshal said to me one day, you got to have these tanks strapped to the wall. And I looked at him like, dude, they're like in between a table. Like, if those fall over, we're all in trouble. Like, oh, they got to be chained to the wall. Dude, they're boxed into a corner. And I didn't want to tell the fire marshal that when he left, when he walked out of the fucking door, there was nothing stopping me from turning the goddamn fucking oxygen on and blowing the whole place up, okay? This fake fucking, or the symbolism of wearing a mask, you gotta be kidding me. This is like the same symbolism, and it's so cute because any trader that makes money in these markets, they always say, well, I just put the moving average on there as a guide. Of course. You fucking think you'd trade that thing? You think you're gonna wear a mask? It's gonna, oh yeah, fuck the airbags. I got a mask on. I'm good to go. I don't know, man. People are just too much. I don't know. But that's really. So when it comes down to trading, I'm looking at why I'm so pissed off at this whole bullshit with this mask and don't social. You know what? I don't give a fuck. Who's ever gave a fuck about getting sick? Well, this is like a really bad. No, it's not. I'm so sorry to tell you. It's bullshit. I'm not sick. You know anybody that's sick? I don't know anybody that's fucking sick, dude. I don't know anybody. I don't know enough people like us. People are we had this asshole get on the fucking thing. He's like, oh, I've had 23 people die. You know 23 people? I don't even think I know 3 people. What the fuck are you doing? If you know 23 people that died, that means you know 5,000 people. The ratio is bullshit. And they're telling the people that they fucking died of this and that. People are like, we're not stupid. There's nobody dying. And you're doing more lockdowns? Yeah, because guess what? I don't want to break your heart. But Trump's going to win by a landslide now that you got it. We're all going to sit back and just laugh. And this guy that caused the riots, gee, who couldn't see that coming? That this piece of shit dies on these cops' watch? Is there babysitting his fucking meth head ass? Oops. Oh, it's just so terrible. And everybody's got to just, oh, we care so much. You know, because you're all so rich and spoiled that you can afford to shut down your businesses, apparently. The amount of punishment that people can take, so people just aren't good traders. That happens all the time, trading. I mean, you put these trades on, you're like, dude, it makes Corona like, some of the moves in these markets, depending on how much money you're risking, it's a fucking Corona trade, but what the fuck is going on out there, people? Come on. The toilet paper? Aren't people even embarrassed themselves? What was I thinking, man? I went around. You should have seen me and Harold and Joel. We went out and got toilet paper. We had coupons and everything. We were getting all ready. Oh yeah, we had like a network. We'd wait in line and then I see people. What have they done to people? So I come up to the grocery store, and they got people standing in line to return their bottles. They got a whole network. Or you come here and there's little like, here's the line for returning your shit. We're gonna feed you to this line here. And like, what are you buying at the store? I mean, no offense to people that are buying returnable bottles, but what? You don't return wine bottles, do you, or liquor bottles? Who's fucking doing this? What, are you buying soda? Why? You get a carton of orange juice and some vodka. Are you returning that? Who are these people drinking pop? What the fuck? I guess your beer bottles, right? You don't return wine bottles, do you? Or liquor? There's no deposit on a liquor bottle. I think you just throw it in the street or something. I don't know, man. It's just, I'm just blown away by the pure stupidity. I like how Glenn Beck and No Nonsense are on the same page when they sold into that. How do you trade a bear market? How to trade a bear market? You knew that was just that was like put on a mask kind of fucking advice. Put on a mask. Everybody put on a mask. If I hear one more dumb fuck say, if everybody just wore a mask for 6 weeks, we'd be all wrapped up here. Why are so many people getting infected in the United States? Because they're testing, you dumb shit. Wait a minute. What are you trying to say? Fuck. You can't even, I mean, they say newspapers, they say TV shows are written for people 5 years old, and the news is written for people that are 2 years old. Like, who's watching this shit going, yeah, that makes sense. Listen to this. Hey, come here. Listen to what this guy's saying on TV. Like, he's really dialed in. And then you had to die. I don't know if anybody caught this show. It was on about 8 years ago. It was when the Financial News Network decided they were going to have a currency show, and they'd invite people on, and they had this big screen with all this dazzling light behind it, and people just say dumb shit and break out charts you can't even fucking see. You're like, what the fucking chart is that? You know, the charts they use on TV are cute. They like these charts it's like a line chart, but it's like a mountain range. You know, it's just area. It's an area chart. You're like, what the fuck? Can somebody put a trend line on that? Or this, I had the open moving average. It's 100. Oh God, there was a guy doing a video. I swear to God, I came across this guy and he had this video and it said, in the middle of the video, he says, well, I use the 20 EMA because that's what the Citibank uses. Really? Okay. That should tell you all you need to know. Yeah, then they fade it. See, what they do is they know everybody else is using that. And this other guy, which is perplexing to me, he writes EAs. I found him on YouTube. He does a 4.5 hour video. Takes you through how all the breakdown of coding EA. And he says something so harebrained, I can't believe it. He said it multiple times. He says, well, these robots won't just work because, if everybody used that robot, it would stop working. I've heard this argument, and anybody that thinks that, just think about how stupid that is. You're saying that everybody would use that robot, and even if they did use it, are they all using it on the same time frame, on the same currency pair? Everybody's going to use it simultaneously. What makes you think everybody's going to use that to begin with? It's harebrained on so many levels. And here's a guy that was writing code, and he worked at a prop firm, so maybe he's not that bright, but he can write code. I don't know if it's brightness, or I don't know if it's intellectual ability, or it's just common fucking sense. Well, we've gotten away from that. We've got modeling, projections, Fourier analysis. Anybody talk about Fourier analysis and trading the markets, and you're like, okay, and can you show me where your stop is on the chart, please? I mean, I would ask anybody, or show me how much money you're willing to risk on this whole trade. If there's $5,000 in the account and you just put a big fucking standard lot in there and walk away, all right. Well, I mean, you can take some punishment, but then when you're down $1,000, I mean, when do you start? When you're down 100 pips, $1,000, when are you gonna? Oh, I cut my losses. I got out, and I got out too early, and yeah, if you don't even know why or where you're getting in and what your expectations are, but the task is too daunting and too risky if you're looking for precise entry. So it's not available in the markets. In this precision, in this exacting, is it safe? And until it's perfectly safe, I'm just not going to do anything. And that's the other thing that pisses me off about no nonsense. What a fucking non-risk loser. Well, we don't lose here. Yeah, you don't risk. What the fuck happened to these people? Well, we just don't go outside anymore. It's just too risky. Okay, dude, fuck you. Well, you just can't plant seeds you just can't go buying seeds. What do you think this is? Can you see how dangerous that is to plant seeds? You just gotta ask yourself, and everybody fucking eats this shit. Everybody's fucking eating it. And if they're not eating it, they're just not showing up to eat. I'm not showing up. I'm not playing that game. Fuck that shit. So luckily, I don't have to deal in that kind of world. Never did, really. Been by myself for years. I don't see the point of dealing with that many people. It's just too much work. Too much responsibility, especially if they fall down and hurt themselves. You're like, God, I got to drive to the fucking hospital again? Fuck, dude, you're starting to become a burden. So social distancing. Obviously, I've never understood, well, I guess the girls scream and giggle and hug each other, but this whole, we're going to get together. I mean, really? You're all going to go in the pool together? All right. Yeah, we all go to the beach, and we do this, and we swap spit. I guess you could. And maybe the people that are getting sick are just fucking horny. Ever think of that? I mean, when did all of a sudden everybody become like they're living in a movie where nobody goes to the bathroom? It's just so sad. And people, I think they have seen too many movies, and their fucking brains fried from it. They think they're in a fucking movie. Then the movie Pandemic. Well, it's a pandemic. And we've all just got to be so scared and just, oh my God, it's so crazy. I don't know what we're going to do. And I don't really see that where I live. I mean, in the world I live in, I don't see people freaking out. But I horrified some lady today in the grocery store. I took off my mask because this other guy took off his mask. She looked at me like, "Holy fuck! Like, what are you doing?" Like I had uranium 235 and I was gonna drop it in her fucking coffee. What the fuck happened to people? It's like they traded forex and they lost and just, well, never do that again. Yeah, stay home, stay safe. And the whole fucking, it's just unbelievable. Well, it was unbelievable before that. They still have nanny state stuff on the radio. They have this commercial. I talked about this before. There's two versions of this commercial. Two guys are talking to each other while looking at some guy who's trying to so-called beat the train. He's trying to get across the tracks before the train takes over the tracks. He's trying to beat the train, and they're saying, "Oh, I can't believe this guy's going to do it. Look at this guy." And I'm like, I can't believe there's a commercial for this. And and it's anybody that wants to beat the train, go for it. We don't need another fucking moron. We just don't need another moron. Okay? Don't go to college. Don't become a guy that's going to just babble bullshit because you got fucking letters after your name. You don't even know what the fucking time it is. You don't know a protest from a crowd? From a riot? Oh, please. Anyways, that has to do with trading, but it does have to do with trading in my mind because all the anger I have about morons fucking up the world, just getting in the way of fucking people trying to live their fucking life. Yeah. I feel the same way when I'm looking at the market and I'm going, oh, really? Okay. Accepting things you can't change. You cannot stop these goobers. You cannot stop these fucking people with these draconian laws. You just have to either hunker down and leave. And what the funniest fucking thing I'm watching now, which is just the only big payoff in this whole thing, is this dumb shit who's running New York is begging the rich people to move back after he butt fucked them without lubricants. It's just so beautiful. He's gonna ask him, begging them, come on back. I'll make you a Cuban sandwich. Oh, after I blew up your business and destroyed you. That's fantastic. Oh, so it's just, and so after the Floyd tapes revealed, that's over. That's the riots are the laughing stock. All these black people that are such victims, like Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jackson, and all the black people I know that are like, they're like, what? We don't care about that shit. It's like all the white people are like, we're not racist. I mean, if you can't see color, okay, you're blind or you're colorblind. But everybody's aware of their origins, and it's what makes it fun. If everybody's the same, and this is what they want, I guess, you can't have it both ways. So everybody wants to be the same, but they want diversity. But everyone would be the same. And then they want to have these, well, I got a 10-period moving average. I got a 15-period. I got every moving average you can conceive. This is why I've covered all my bases. No, people in markets are the same. They're just very, each has their own unique situation. There's not this broad brush thing. You just can't say that all this matters or all that matters. Everything is very dialed into a couple items. And that is the problem, is that it's detailed. You can't just smooth out things. And it's okay that it's rough. It's okay it's rough. it's okay if people make mistakes, you know. Um, I don't know where this whole attitude came from, but it's just this. It seems to me there is an attitude, an approach. And if you're the victim of these markets, systemic victimhood, systemic stop hunting, these things are just terrible. It's a scourge. I get it. People don't. No, everybody wants to have a perfect world and utopian. But the road to hell is paved with good intention. And I'm sure these people mean well. They're so caring. Oh, we care so much. We're going to reach out to you. But yes, it's very. I'm just so frustrated by that, by stupidity like that. And just to watch it churn on itself. And it's really clickbait. So I don't know why I should get upset because most of what people say, and even the no-nonsense guy, this kind of idea that you're going to, well, this is just like the worst, a dirty dozen. And in your head, it's a dirty dozen. Just because you don't have a trade plan for that indicator doesn't make the indicator bad. You could trade overbought and oversold. You could do all these things. You could trade all of the dumb things. But if you do them over and over again, if you figure you're only going to win 8 out of 10 times, you're still going to lose twice. If you start off in your first 2 losses, so when I started trading, they said, well, you start off and you may have 3 losses in a row. You keep going. Most people, if there's 3 losses in a row, they're going to say, I'm doing something wrong. Now, if your first one's a winner, they said that's even worse because now, looks easy. Sure, I can lick doorknobs and stuff now. I've built up my immune system. Looks easy. But first, though, a little tough, But boy, I'm ready for anything now. Corona push-ups. It's a real daunting task. But it's a show, I guess. I guess this is entertainment stuff. I just didn't know that people that rise to power are fucking morons. I mean, it's just incredible. And it proves that they're schmoozers and they're fucking people-pleasing sociopaths. And they're phony as fuck. Except for, I must say, Trump is not phony in the sense he's not a politician. He has a persona that he knows he has, right? So some people think that nobody knows they're putting up this persona. And that's the worst, Because they're so, oh, look at me, I'm so authentic. But you can't, look, these people that are running some things are just incredibly stupid or evil. I mean, you're either doing that to fuck it up on purpose, or you're just a complete fuck up. So everything you touch just turns bad, goes wrong, goes sideways. I could buy at the market here, but I think I might have got filled on some limits. So here's where, should I buy some more here? We pulled back, we broke out, pulled back. Everybody scalped off that 10 pip top. Right? People sold that, scalped back for 1 hour. Are they going to buy more? Is it going to plummet through here? If it pulls back here, then we expect here, and then the sellers come in here. Right, pull it back. So it's going to be this stairway. And if you know how to trade this, right? If you know how to trade these stairways, you take your 20 pips, you take your 10 pips. It's just a lot of trading. It's a lot of in and out. And this is how it's going to be. If you, just on this one currency, so maybe you buy at the top of the hour, you're going to buy here because it's down. and it's back into the middle of the road, fair value. It's kind of, people are short off the top of that. They're hoping that this comes all the way and engulfs and that they get out here. People have targets down here. I would probably have a target here if I was short. If I'm going to buy here, I'm going to have a target here, a stop here, and a stop here. And it's all layered in there. And then we're looking for that big sweeping move to here at some point today, tomorrow. The big sweeping move. This is the big cash out. This is the gotcha moment. So, oh, look at. What did you say that guy was on? He said the guy had a 90% heart blockage. He was on methamphetamines, and he said he couldn't breathe before you put your knee on his neck, which is a legal procedure. Yeah, and then when we got a picture of that, and we go, oh, because it was a white guy with his knee on there, oh, then it was racist. I see how your brain's wired. You must be that guy that's using the RSI. Yeah, that was designed for bear spray. RSI. What in the fuck? Listen to Biden talk. You want a whole new kind of dialectic? Listen to this Biden guy. I'm telling you what, I'm falling in love with this Biden guy. Did you see his last interview where the guy asked him, would you take a cognitive test? Hey, man, what you talking about? What do you think, I'm on cocaine? What the fuck? I don't know if anybody's watching this stuff. But Biden's last interview, where he asked Biden, the guy asked Biden something about Trump, and he laughed so hard, like this fucking laugh, like a 10-year-old. I don't know. Is this guy kidding? Is he really going to be in his basement? The Democrats don't have anybody but a guy that's so old he doesn't know where he's at. And I didn't want to put Bernie Sanders up there. What? It's too radical because Bernie the communist. Well, how can a Jew be a Nazi? I don't get how Jews end up doing this communism gig. Hadn't they figured out what was going on in Germany yet? It's incredible. See, this is why there's no hope. This is why there's no hope. Come on. Anyways, I don't know if that helps. It helps me. I like to complain, but yeah, look at this spike up here. Look at that move. My God, man. So on the other side here now, we're gonna wait until the top of the hour and buy some more of this thing. If they don't fill my limits, I'm buying more. But I'm already long. I'm long from down here. I got limits stacked up here to pick up some more tickets. That's all. So I'm just trying to bundle up my tickets and make 70% to 80% winning trades, whether they're small. So that if I'm trying to make 8 pips, I'm sure I can make 8 pips. If I'm trying to make 80 pips, not so sure. So I got to have the high probability trades are going to be the ones that are likely to cash out. I'm high probability of being a winner. And then the thing is, how much work am I going to put into this thing? So yeah, you can take an account and you can really do some insanely good trading if you really focus and you really, every 3 hours, every 4 hours, every hour you're looking at it, oh, this, that, boom, bam, boom. You got to get out, because if you don't get out of that 40 pip winner or that 20 pip winner, all right, are you a trend trader that's going to wait 10 days or 10 months to get paid? I don't know. I'm not. But 4 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, sure. You know, 8 hours, 4 hours and 8 hours to me, that's like the best trade. Market's down 4 hours, it's up 4 hours, you're out. And a retracement trade. The big trend trade here, I'm doing a trend trade or doing a big swing trade here on the yen. I buy into this thing, it goes up today. Okay, I could just sit there and keep moving my targets and keep marching those and keep trailing my stops, which is a lot of work, and it's going to be what people would do if they were going to protect their profits. And you know, you're going to do that stuff. Or you're just going to, when the market's up, it makes a big screaming move in your direction, you're up, just go flat. Get out everything, go flat. No, you don't have to trail all those stops and move all those targets and do all that management. You could just take a chunk, get out. That probably is the best thing to do, but that's going to be harder work than sitting in some no-nonsense trend trade where you're sitting there, oh, you know, I'm just going to got this thing about 5 days ago, and we're up on the trade, and I'm looking at it. I'm going to go walk my dog and go have a cup of tea. You know, this is trading. And, yeah, I suppose, in a sense, you know. But actually, pulling the trigger, I figured that was trading as far as I'm concerned. The execution. The other part of just sitting in a trade, I don't know what you call that, punishment? I don't know. Yeah, okay, so we're waiting for this thing to pull back to about 10 more pips down. Okay, I gotta go buy a mouse. This mouse is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.